Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver Night 2 review. Tonight was a good night of wrestling. I have to admit, Takeover was a good show. Was it great? No. There were some things about it that I didn't like. But overall, it was a way better takeover than some of the other takeovers. The crowd, I have to admit, was not as loud and invested in this, or actually not much involved in this takeover as they were in last night's takeover. I have to admit that. I think that this is kind of weird coming out of my mouth, but I have to say that Takeover Night 1 was slightly better than Night 2. And that's because of the crowd. The crowd really did not seem as energetic as they were in Night 1. Now, I might be in the minority on that, and that's fine if that's the case. But I really feel that the crowd really did not give the same vibe that they gave in Night 1. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below on that. And tell me what you guys thought of the crowd reactions during both shows. Because I think Night 1, the crowd was more invested. Felt like I was watching it from Full Sail University. Here, the matches were good, but the crowd made it feel like they were right where they are. Just being like a regular, ordinary NXT crowd that it's been in the Capital Wrestling arena that they've been in. So I got to admit, I was not impressed with the crowd. That doesn't mean I was not satisfied with the action. There were some matches I didn't particularly care about, such as the Women's NXT Tag Team Championship match. I don't know why the fuck that title even exists. I really don't. These two tag teams that was on this have no business being... Really, to be honest with you, Indy Hartwell and fucking Candice LeRae make sense to be a tag team. They're part of a faction, the Gargano Way. But outside of that, there ain't nothing on NXT Women's Wrestling where there's legit tag teams. Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart was thrown together out of nowhere. I don't quite understand it. They don't have official tag teams, yet they decide to create a tag team championship belt in NXT when they could just have the few tag teams that they have, like Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, going after the WWE Women's Tag Team titles on the main roster while they're still part of NXT. And the same thing goes with Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. That is the one thing I'm never going to understand. And if you go and listen to JD, he says the exact same thing. I'm not trying to sound like, copying everything he does, because I'm not. I have to agree with him on this. There's no real legit tag teams in this fucking women's division. This women's division in NXT is heavy-based singles wrestling. So I'm not quite understanding the point or the idea of why they're going with tag team wrestling in a division that's filled with singles competitors in the women's division. Makes no sense to me. But hey, that's WWE for you. And NXT is not the same NXT. Even though I'm praising this takeover event, NXT still ain't the same NXT I've been used to. Bottom line. There's no doubt about that. So, what was my opinion about the two main events that they hyped up? They were both great. I absolutely loved both of them. I thought the World Championship match was slightly better than Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, even though I was extremely hyped up about that. I thought that match, the way it was built up, was pretty fucking good based on the promo video that they provided to get you excited for this match. I was absolutely stunned. Basically, the storyline is real simple. Adam Cole is tired of being with Kyle O'Reilly. He sat back, he watched Kyle O'Reilly compete for the World Championship twice and lose both times, and then he wants to put Finn Balor in their group for no fucking apparent reason at all, as if he wants to be behind Finn Balor or something. And his attitude is, I'm tired of being around a bunch of fucking lackeys. People that would rather be lapdogs than going ahead and being the absolute best like myself. That's basically the premise of why Adam Cole broke up the Undisputed Era. I thought that was fantastic. It made sense. My problem is, I absolutely love Undisputed Era. To me, they're like the inner circle of AEW. So, I'm kind of pissed off that they split them up, but maybe it's for the best. I'm not sure. I highly doubt it, especially if one of them's going to good old main roster in WWE, you know? Anyone that goes from NXT to WWE, wave goodbye to them, because they ain't coming back. They ain't fucking coming back. They're going to be sitting in catering, getting fat, eating fucking bullshit, and they're going to do nothing with their career. The only thing they're going to be able to do is collect a paycheck, which isn't bad, but at the same time, you're there to create something, create memories, have a career, and make something out of yourself. If you're not there to be the absolute best, what's the point in being there? You could go get a fucking job. You could go get a real athletic job and be a backup player and get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, close to $1 million a year, and sit on your fucking ass, if that's what you really want to do. I mean, my attitude is, if I'm going to go ahead and do what I wanted to do, and then just get to sit on my ass and be a spectator like the rest of the fans and get paid, I mean, that's kind of cool and all, but I'd rather be able to do something with my career instead of sitting on my ass. It's showing ambition, wanting to better myself, make myself better, actually earn my pay, that kind of thing. Something Americans have lost. I think people like to just sit on their ass and not do anything to earn their pay. And that's what I kind of feel like some of the performers in WWE are. They get thrown to the side and they say, oh well, I'm getting paid, who gives a shit? No, you shouldn't have that attitude. You should want to still earn your pay. And if you're not going to be able to earn your pay where you're working at, go somewhere else where you can and make something out of yourself. Not sit in a fucking catering and eat food and do nothing. That's fucking stupid. Just me saying the truth here, because honestly, if I was a worker in a promotion like WWE and I wanted to be a professional wrestler, I wouldn't want to sit on my ass just earning a paycheck. It's just fucking lame, and it devalues your character and what you do in the ring, and pretty much people forget you most of the time, depending on how well you were liked. But anyway, enough of the blabbering. Let's get into the matches. I've spent almost 10 minutes talking about just my overall feelings about the show and so forth. So let's just get into the matches and let's discuss them. There was the opener to the main card was Jordan Devlin and Santos Escobar for the Cruiserweight Championship. It was a unification match because Jordan Devlin was still claiming to be the Cruiserweight Champion still, even though he was never beaten for the title. So this matchup was to determine the undisputed champion, that there was only going to be one Cruiserweight champion in the Cruiserweight division. This match was okay. It was more of a spot fest than anything else. The flow of the match was kind of subpar. I'd say, kind of like normal speed. There was no fast-paced motion to this match. It really didn't move into another gear as it went along. There was just some really good spots here and there throughout the entire match. And at the end of the day, Santos Escobar wins and retains the championship, making him the undisputed champion for the Cruiserweight division. So there you go. Good match. Thankfully, it was put on the main card. It wasn't put on night one, and it was given a spot on the show to highlight the Cruiserweight division, which I think is very good to do, because I think, personally, they need to start taking some of the... I really kind of feel like this. Let's be honest, guys. I think they need to have 3 weight divisions. They need to have the heavyweights. They need to have a middleweight division and a light, we'll call it lightweight, because cruiserweight seems a little pathetic, in my opinion. I think lightweight is a lot better. So I honestly think you get 3 weight classes. MLW has it. MLW has a world heavyweight title, a middleweight championship. I do not believe they have a lightweight championship, but they have an open weight championship, which is a title that anyone from any weight class can face for that championship. So Major League Wrestling has that kind of idea and concept, which I kind of like. I think if they applied that to the major corporations, like WWE and AEW, and made each title just as important as the other weight class, I think that would be a great thing. You have that one title being used for the main event of the show like UFC does with their weight classes. I think that would be a fantastic idea. I mean, for the major events, I guess you can go just based off of which title is being more hyped up going into that major pay-per-view event. So I think that would probably be the way you determine what would be the title for the main event of that pay-per-view. For, like, let's say you're going to WrestleMania, the Royal Rumble, any one of those. And that way you can determine which, based on how the storylines are being built up out of the 3 titles, which one you would prefer making as the main event. And whichever one you feel has been hyped up the best, that's what you put as the main event of the pay-per-view, and the other 2 titles get put on the card as well. But they're not the last match of the show. So that's how I would actually do that. If they were to take the idea of a weight class. So that Cruiserweight title match, I'm definitely giving a 3 out of 5 stars. It was a solid opener to this pay-per-view, so I gotta give him some credit there. Again, like I said, there was some spots in this matchup that made it really good. Pace of the match was average, and that's pretty much all I feel on that. The next match was the Women's Tag Team Championship with Shotzi Blackheart, Amber Moon against Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. This was average. It wasn't that great. I'm not even slightly below average. I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. There was nothing memorable about this match. This match could have been placed on an NXT episode. This really did not belong on a Takeover event. I mean, if you wanted to put it on night 1, I would have been okay with it and substitute it with fucking Walter and Tommaso Ciampa for the UK Championship if you really want to go that route. But my God, this match was not Takeover quality, in my opinion. I'm not taking anything away from the women that performed in this match. I'm not saying this match was terrible in any way. This was not Takeover type of matchup to me. This was bottom of the barrel. Just let's throw some women on there since we didn't get them on there to begin with, and give them a shot on the main card of night 2. That's kind of like how I felt about that and the way they were kind of putting it towards me anyway. But yeah, Shotzi Blackheart and Amber Moon retained the tag team titles. And that's pretty much that. There's nothing to speak of this match. This was nothing special, nothing unique about it. The next match after that was Johnny Gargano and Bronson Reed. This was a fantastic matchup. A lot of fun to watch. Bronson Reed fought very hard with Gargano. Gargano, man, he took a beating from this guy, and he still managed to win. I gotta admit, there's only two people that come to mind that I would have take away the NXT North American Championship from Johnny Gargano, and that is either Dexter Lumis or fucking Austin Theory. Yes, I came out and said it. I was sitting there watching this match, and Austin Theory is behind playing a lackey to fucking Johnny Gargano. Now, don't get me wrong. Johnny Gargano is a fantastic wrestler. I've always been a fan of his. He reminds me a lot of Daniel Bryan in his wrestling style and so forth. But there is just something like brewing in me going, what the fuck is Austin Theory playing backup to fucking Johnny Gargano? This has got to lead somewhere. This has got to lead to Austin Theory becomes the NXT North American champion. I mean, honestly, this is the most fucking dumb thing I've ever seen. Austin Theory was being placed on the fucking main roster, given nothing, playing a fucking lackey, and now he's playing the same role here in NXT instead of being pushed like he was in Evolve. Evolve made him look like a fucking monster of a performer. This guy was fucking cocky, full of himself, had all confidence in the world, beat everybody on that roster for every major championship you can possibly get. And you got Austin Theory playing backup to fucking Johnny Gargano? Unless you're pushing this to a actual matchup between these two guys later on this year, I don't understand what the fuck Austin Theory is doing behind Johnny Gargano right now. Now, I do understand, yes, you might say in the comments below that, well, Austin Theory was part of some allegations last year that were very controversial and was bad for public relations for WWE to consider even pushing him in any way, shape, or form right now. I understand that, but you got him on television. You got him playing with Johnny Gargano as his student, I guess you could say, and Johnny Gargano is his teacher. Why in the hell wouldn't you just eventually break these two apart? Austin Theory doesn't need anyone. He has the it. He has the character. He is a cocky son of a bitch. I honestly think if you really pushed him good enough, you can make him like MJF. And Austin Theory, let's get real, Austin Theory is a far better and superior wrestler than MJF. Not taking anything away from MJF, but MJF cannot do the kind of things that Austin Theory can fucking do. And then also have the same kind of personality that MJF has as well. It's just fucking crazy. But I honestly think that it has to do with some of the controversy that happened to him last year. I would think that eventually that would die down and people would get over that. I mean, if he really did anything bad, I'm sure they'd take him off of TV. I don't know what's going on with Velveteen Dream. Maybe something's going on with him in a court case with what was accused of him doing the kind of things he was doing with his phone, which I hope not. I hope that was all a lie or there was some kind of mistake, but probably more than likely there is no mistake. I mean, you got Deshaun Watson coming out of nowhere being accused by 20 plus fucking women that he sexually assaulted them and raped them. But it wasn't made clear to the authorities when it happened. They happened to tell him a few years later. I don't understand that mentality. And I'm kind of going off topic here. This has nothing even to do with professional wrestling or this pay-per-view that we just watched here tonight. But you get my drift. It kind of makes it seem a little suspicious in my mind. But then again, there's people out there that, probably react and get shocked. I've never been molested, thank God. I don't know how I would react. Maybe I would react quickly. Maybe I wouldn't. So I can't really judge or make a comment on those people that don't react quick enough after the incident happens. So I do apologize on that for the comments I just made. I'm just, I personally feel if something is misdone to someone, it should be brought to someone's attention immediately, not later on, like years, months, whatever. I think it should be addressed to the authorities immediately. But let's get back on the pay-per-view. I'm talking completely off topic here. So, yeah, Johnny Gargano beats Bronson Reed for the North American Championship. Doesn't beat him. He retains his championship. And a very good matchup. This match I'm definitely giving a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Very close to a 4. Which most of the matches I do give a 4 when they're really good. Now, getting into the World Heavyweight Championship between Finn Balor and Karrion Kross. This was an excellent match. A superb match. Close to a 5. Very close passing fucking, Tommaso Ciampa and Walter from last night, but they just fell a little bit short. Just a little bit, just a tad. They are number 2, best match on the entire card out of the 2 nights. Walter and Tommaso Ciampa, fucking number 1. There ain't no one. When I saw that match, I was like, that's it. This is the fucking match of the entire pay-per-view out of the 2 nights. There ain't no freaking doubt about it. Hands down, easily. But, this match was really, really good. This was a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Bottom line, these guys fought they strategized on how to beat each other. There was a shoulder issue that, fucking Karrion Kross was dealing with. He accidentally hit the steel post from the turnbuckle. I thought that was excellent. They went and revisited that injury he sustained last year when he won the World Championship from Keith Lee. I thought that was an excellent idea to plug into this matchup. I thought that was awesome. Very smart. And throughout the entire match, Finn Balor was working on that arm. He then eventually managed to give him a liver shot to the ribs, which fucked him up, and he kept attacking that body part as well. Very smart by Finn Balor. He did an excellent job in this match against Karrion Kross. Probably the best performer out of the bunch that have faced Karrion Kross one-on-one. I think Finn Balor did the best. Keith Lee was alright, but Finn Balor blew Keith Lee away in their one-on-one match with Karrion Kross out of the 2. I think Finn Balor was excellent, and they just are trying to make that character that Karrion Kross is providing to us on television to seem all that much better, and that's an excellent idea. Who do I think should be able to beat Roman Reigns for the Universal title? It's Karrion Kross. Easy, hands down. But that's going to be a while before that happens. He just became the fucking world champion in NXT. So you're not going to see Karrion Kross in WWE anytime soon. At least probably won't even see him by SummerSlam. Because that's when I actually would like to see someone take the title off of Roman Reigns by SummerSlam. But I don't even know if they're going to have anyone suitable to take the title off of Roman Reigns based on the way Roman Reigns has been built up. He's so fucking good at what he's doing as a heel. It's just like, who the hell would you want to take the title off of him at this point? There's really nobody that comes to mind except for maybe Cesaro if they build him up into this major underdog and turn him into a real winner. He's the only guy I would go with. Big E, At first I was like, Big E's a great opponent for Roman Reigns. There's a small problem about Big E. He looks utterly ridiculous. You still can't take the guy seriously. Even when he's playing serious role, which is great, his attire makes him look ridiculous. You can't give a title to someone that looks like Big E with that fucking attire. He still looks like New Day type Big E with that fucking attire. He needs to get rid of the fucking attire. Once he gets rid of that, keeps the more serious act that he's been continuously growing upon, and stop playing this stupid New Day gimmick that has been worn out and used for so many years, you'll see my attitude towards him change. I believe he's the guy they could go with, but they need to change some things up about him before they move him into a world championship opportunity. That's just my attitude on that. But the only other guy besides Karrion Kross that I do believe would be believable to beat Roman Reigns for the WWE Universal Championship, and this guy is a believable opponent for Roman Reigns to go up against this year going into SummerSlam, is Finn Balor. I think Finn Balor moving back to the WWE main roster, making him stay the same fucking character he is now, no changing, no nothing, keep him as is, you will find your new face and superstar of WWE. Finn Balor had it all going into 2016, won the Universal Championship, surrendered it because of injury, and he was never the same since then until he moved back to NXT. He is back to the way he used to be before that injury. You bring him back onto the main roster, SummerSlam, he wins the WWE Universal Championship from Roman Reigns. I would be cool with that as long as his character stays the same. You change one fucking thing about his character, I'm totally against it. Totally fucking against it. There's nothing to change about Finn Balor. He is a plain, simplistic character that gets over what he does in the ring and based on what he says on the mic. He doesn't need to do anything else. There's no need to change anything about him if you want to push him towards the Universal Championship against Roman Reigns. And guess what? It would make sense. Full circle. SummerSlam, he won his first world championship and the main roster. Okay? Secondly, he beat Roman Reigns to get that opportunity to face for the Universal Championship in 2016. Get the storyline? It's full circle. It's round and round. It works. It's a great storyline. They could revisit what happened in 2016 and bring that about, and they're fighting over the same fucking championship that was initially won by the man who should have stayed champion, but unfortunately injury took over and he had to withdraw his rights to being the defending champion. I think that would be a great storyline. Put him on SmackDown, challenge for the Universal Championship, keep the character he has on NXT, move it over to SmackDown. You got a fucking storyline and a half. I think people would fucking love that shit. But that's just me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below on that one. But yeah, this was a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Karrion Kross wins the match. And it was very strategic type of matchup. These guys went back and forth and did things that made sense in the match. It was a very solid match, very fun, and I'm very happy for Karrion Kross to win back the NXT World Championship. All right, the main event, and then I am out of here. I almost said Karrion Kross. Adam Cole, baby, versus Kyle O'Reilly in an unsanctioned match. I got to admit to you guys, and you guys let me know what you guys think of this in the comments. Don't you guys think that maybe unsanctioned match shouldn't have a referee? Don't you guys think that these matches shouldn't even have pinfall or submissions? They feel so much more like a regular matchup. They just put the title unsanctioned, and that was it. They changed the ropes, by the way. They made the ropes black, which I thought was kind of neat. I think the ropes being black is a lot better than white. I just kind of feel like black is like the right color to use for like ropes on a ring. I don't know why. I just kind of feel like that. It's not even because of AEW. Because there's a lot of other promotions that do the same thing. New Japan Wrestling does it. Fucking Ring of Honor does it. The only one that doesn't do it is Impact Wrestling. I don't get that. Impact Wrestling uses red and blue for some of their ropes on their shows. Mostly red for the weekly televised shows, but blue sometimes during the pay-per-views, and most of the time, though, they use red as well for their pay-per-views, too. So, they're kind of like off in Neverland, but whatever. But I kind of like the idea of black ropes, especially for a pay-per-view, which WWE used to use back in the day during their pay-per-views, especially if it was a joint branded pay-per-view kind of event. But bottom line, this was a very good main event matchup. I kind of feel like this unsanctioned match should have been to the point where the person just wouldn't get up. This is a fight. You could call it a death match, basically, where there's no explosions, none of that bullshit. God help us all. AEW really fucked us on that one. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. If they didn't feel it was safe enough to do something like that, they should have just never done the fucking match. But going back to topic here, I kind of think that if you do an unsanctioned match, really after all these years of these so-called unsanctioned matches, I think that it's time that they change it up a bit, make it where it's a knockout match where the guy doesn't get up. He can't move. He's not responding. The referee they have just someone there to make sure someone's not getting back up again. They just say, this fight's over. I'm calling it. Technical knockout. There you go. And that's your unsanctioned match. That's the way I kind of see it at this point. It should be like a fucking backstage street fight type of thing with no pinfalls and no submissions. Just pure, unadulterated, illegal fight that shouldn't even be taking place but is. That's how I kind of feel that an unsanctioned match should start being portrayed on television at this point. Because these unsanctioned matches don't really feel unsanctioned. They feel like a sanctioned match. Now, granted, I will give WWE credit here where credit is due. They used a referee with a black shirt on, not a zebra shirt, which I thought was kind of a nice change of pace. It kind of changed things up a little bit. But still, I think they need to get rid of the pinfalls and submission shit, because then it just feels like a regular dumb match. I really think they should just go all out and go straight to the KO type of finish. That's really what I think they should do. But hey, that's just my opinion. But overall, this match wasn't bad either. This was a 4 out of 5 stars, a really good matchup. I would rank it number 3 out of all the matches out of the 2 nights that took place. This was not bad at all. It was strategic, I will give it that, but there were certain moments here and there that really weren't needed. For example, Adam Cole had Kyle O'Reilly on the top rope, and he went ahead and he climbed up with him. And he started talking trash to him, which he did multiple times during this match, where he could have possibly won the match. But granted, it was supposed to be where Adam Cole was supposed to lose. Kyle O'Reilly won this match, by the way. And he talked shit on the top rope when he could have just took that time and performed a move from the top rope or something. Instead, he's talking shit to him in the middle of a match that he could have won easily with no problem. And he ends up getting a low blow by Kyle O'Reilly on Adam Cole, and Adam Cole pretty much got annihilated after that, and the match ended with Kyle O'Reilly hitting him with there was a chain, a metal chain, a steel chain that was issued into the match by, I believe it was Adam Cole, I think. No, Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly brought in a steel chain. And at the end of this, he used that steel chain to wrap around his knee while Adam Cole is pressed up against a unfolded chair that's facing upwards, and he's facing down at it. And he just planted his knee with the chain portion of it wrapped around his kneecap and drove it right into the side of his back. And he went face first into the chair and then was pinned 1, 2, 3, and that was it. And Kyle O'Reilly won, Adam Cole lost. So I thought it was a very nice ending for what it was, but man, there were some spots here that Adam Cole looked like an idiot. Constantly talking trash to him. Just fucking win the match, dude. You have an opportunity to win. You're fucking wasting time talking shit. Oh, I made you. You sound like fucking Vincent Mann. What the hell? Just win the fucking match first, and then you can talk all the trash you want. It was fucking dumb. That was the one thing I will critique this match for, is Adam Cole just looked like a fucking idiot in the middle of this matchup. I mean, Finn Balor and Karrion Kross didn't do that kind of shit during this match. They didn't sit there and waste time talking shit to one another. They got in the middle of that ring, they did what they had to do to win the match, and the better man won. And that's it. That's all there was to it. The match was very, very realistic. This match was not to a certain point. This match had some moments where it was realistic to me, but then at the same time, they were just doing too much bullshit in the middle of the ring. It's like watching the bad guy having the good guy beat in a movie, and he talks too much shit, and the good guy manages to overcome the odds because the bad guy didn't pull the trigger fast enough. The fuck is up with that? It was unrealistic is what I'm trying to say. But overall, the match was okay. I don't have any major complaints except for that. But otherwise, this was a very decent show. Very well worth 2 hours and 30 minutes of your time. I definitely will probably go back and watch this for fun. At some point, if I have free time for 2.5 hours. I will skip the women's tag team match, most definitely. That match was shit. But yeah, I think this was a decent show. I thought it was fun, it was entertaining, and it kept me intrigued for 2.5 hours. So, kudos to NXT. They did a good job. They did what they had to do to get my interest and give me, have me give them a thumbs up for what they did. So, kudos to them, and congratulations for putting on a good show for 2 nights in a row. Hopefully, WWE can do that, but don't get your hopes up. That ain't fucking happening. Especially night one. Night one ain't worth a continental shit. Don't even, the truth of the matter is, if you miss night one and you watch the replay of it in the morning, you're probably better off doing that for yourself. That way, if there's any matches you're not interested in watching, you can fucking skip them. But in my case, I'm not going to be doing that because I gotta upload these videos for my reviews and, give you guys my feelings on the entire show as a whole, so I can give you that full-on review. But personally, if you're not doing a YouTube channel, don't even fucking waste your time with night one. Just go back, watch it when it's over, or watch it in the morning. That way you give yourself some time to watch it. Any matches you don't care to watch, just fucking skip it. Just fucking skip that shit. It ain't fucking worth your time. I guarantee you there's plenty of matches on that card for night one you could skip. And it'll probably take you, you'll get through it in like an hour and 30 minutes, like a 90-minute movie. Seriously, I mean, what? Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre in a one-on-one match for the WWE Championship that more than likely Drew McIntyre is going to win, and Bobby Lashley got a wasted-out fucking transitional championship run? Give me a fucking break. They could have just left it on Miz and we would have been over and done with it. Give me a break on that. What else we got on this card? I don't know. Seth Rollins and Cesaro? No, don't want to skip that. That probably is going to be a good matchup. Hopefully Cesaro wins that. The Women's Championship match for SmackDown with Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. Build-up sucks, but I'm pretty sure this match is going to be great. So it'll probably be well worth your time to watch that. I don't know what else is on the rest of this fucking card for night one. To be quite frank with you, I forgot all the fucking matches. I'm not going on my computer. I didn't even have my computer to upload to do this review. I had it all memorized from the match card from watching the entire show. So I'm not going back and checking night one's card for WrestleMania. Who gives a shit? Night one's card for WrestleMania ain't even WrestleMania. They might as well put night one's card on fucking SmackDown for all I care at this point. What a fucking joke. Anyway, guys, at this time, you know what to do. Hit the like button if you like this video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed to the channel, of course. And leave a comment down below, and I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great night, guys. Bye.